good afternoon. This is Dr. Anamta Rizvi, your UGC NET English Literature educator. And today we are going ahead with very important lesson, and that is Indian English authors. So Indian writing in English के बारे में है, and all the authors जो कि 1950s में पैदा हुए हैं, जिनका birth year है 1950s में, and who later on became to be very important, prominent modern writers, modern Indian English writers, and postmodern Indian English writers. So we have Arundhati Roy, we have Vikram Seth, we have so many series of authors that today we will be discussing. Okay, so guys, let me know in the comment section if I'm audible, visible, you guys can hear me, see me, and let's go ahead with our class. Okay, so Indian English writers born in 1950s, and here it is. All right, so guys, with this, also to all my students, whoever wants to go in for the paid batch, the paid batch is only for ₹4359 plus इस पे और discount आ गया है. Use my code AR Live. You can avail the course in around just ₹3000. ये आप देख सकते हैं, पेपर 1 भी मिल रहा है as well as पेपर 2 भी मिल रहा है. You are going to get all the live lectures जो कि सुबह मैं लेती हूँ, and you will, अगर नहीं live lectures attend कर पाए तो जितने भी previous lectures उसका of course PDF मिलेगा, उसके PPTs मिलेंगी, notes मिलेंगे, as well as all the recorded classes. So you guys want to avail, definitely go ahead. Hi Anshu, Shivani, everything is good, so let's go ahead with our class. All right, so students, with our first, if we talk about the very important Indian English author जो कि 1950s में पैदा हुए थे, that is Alan Seeley. Alan Seeley, very important. He was born in 1951 in Allahabad, and Alan Seeley studied at Lamartine College, Lucknow, and St. Stephen College in New Delhi later, and then he joined journalism in New Zealand. So a very prominent figure, a very important one. So Alan Seeley के बारे में मैंने पर्सनल डिटेल इसलिए भी डाली क्योंकि अक्सर जैसे कभी एक लास्ट ईयर एक क्वेश्चन एक रामानुजन पे आया था, उनकी पर्सनल डिटेल्स पूछी गई, तो बोला था आइडेंटिफाई द पोएट. सो उसी तरीके से ये सारी डिटेल्स जो पर्सनल डिटेल्स इंपॉर्टेंट होती है, कहाँ से स्कूलिंग है, क्या करते थे, प्रोमिनेंट करियर क्या था, इन सबको जानना ज़रूरी होता है, सो दैट इफ एनी क्वेश्चन आए जहाँ पे आपको गेस करना पड़े हु इज़ द ऑथर दैट द क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग, यू शुड नो अबाउट इट. सो एलन सीली के बारे में, इनकी राइटिंग ब्लेंड करता है इंडियन हिस्ट्री के साथ आइडेंटिटी एंड पोस्ट कॉलोनियल थीम्स विद एक्सपेरिमेंटल नरेटिव फॉर्म. सो गाइज, he was a very important postmodern Indian English novelist as well. All right, so awards, he received the Commonwealth Writers Prize 1991 for the Chautarnama. इनका बहुत ही famous work है the Chautarnama, very nice postmodern novel, and that won the Commonwealth Writers Prize in 1991. कुछ नहीं पूछेंगे तो अगर यही जो prizes होते हैं उनके बारे में तो हमें याद करना ही होता है. So the Sahitya Academy Award in 1998 for the Everest Hotel. इन्हें साहित्य Academy Award भी जीता है, and he was also awarded the Padma Shri in 2012 for his contribution to literature. So this is Alan Seeley, guys. Now we have major work, the Chautarnama. अगर हम देखें, ये इसका टाइटल है, इसका बुक कवर है. Chautarnama 1988 में लिखा गया था, a multi-generational saga of the Anglo-Indian Chautar family. Alan Seeley was an Anglo-Indian. So of course, उनकी Chautarnama was about the Anglo-Indian family, covering 1750 to 1950 style after a Persian Nama, and this combines historical fiction, satire, and magical realism. The Everest Hotel, 1998. This is set in a hospice near the Himalayas. This introspective novel reflects on time. तो ये दोनों ने guys प्राइज जीता है, साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड एंड कॉमनवेल्थ प्राइज. सो प्लीज इंपॉर्टेंट नॉवेल्स है, मेक श्योर दैट यू आर रीडिंग देम, हैविंग अ वेरी केयरफुल वॉच. एंड देन रेड एंड अल्फाबेट 2006 का वर्क है, एन एक्सपेरिमेंटल एंड सेमी ऑटोबायोग्राफिकल नॉवल structured around the alphabet exploring nature, memory, and language. Other works कौन से इनके, Hero, A Fable, The Brain Fever Bird, and then there is The Small Wild Goose and Zeladinus, A Mask. So ये सारे works इनके बहुत important. Make sure that every one of you has a good look at Alan Seeley. Then you have next one, and that is Meena Alexander. Meena Alexander का brief overview. She is Meena Alexander. She was born in 1951, again in Allahabad. okay, and Indian raised in Kerala and Sudan. So Kerala, Sudan में इनकी परवरिश हुई थी. She studied at Hartham University and earned her PhD from Nottingham University. Later, she lived in New York, where she taught English at Hunter College and the Graduate Center in CUNY. Her work reflects themes of migration, memory, identity, and trauma. इनको बहुत awards मिले हैं, and in case a few of the words were, she received several honors, just including the Pen Open Book Award, the fellowship from the John Simon Guggenheim Foundation, and was named a distinguished professor by the University of New York. Then yes, Meena Alexander is a very important dignitary pertaining to Indian English writing. इनके वर्क्स हम देखते हैं, इनके मेजर वर्क्स फॉल्स लाइंस 1993 में ये वर्क आया है, रिवाइज किया गया 2003 में. एक मेमोयर है ये. मेमोयर क्या होता है? ऑटोबायोग्राफी नहीं होती, बट कुछ एपिसोड्स लाइफ की कुछ चीज़ें आप मेंशन करते हैं बुक में. ऑटोबायोग्राफी से कम एक्सटेंसिव होता है. सो मेमोयर ट्रेसेस हर जर्नी. सॉरी गाइस, जस्ट अ सेकंड. सो मेमोयर ट्रेस करता है इनका जर्नी अक्रॉस कॉन्टिनेंट्स एंड कल्चर्स एंड लैंग्वेजेस, एंड इट एड्रेसेस द fractured self of the migrant writer. The wound is the place where the light enters you. Okay, so this is a very important one. Then comes your another work that she wrote, Nimpali Road, 1991 ka Nimpali Road, a politically charged novel that was set in Hyderabad, and this explores state violence, activism, and female agency through the eyes of a returning academic. Illiterate Heart 2002 का work है, and this was a poetry collection that won the Pen Open Book Award, and it reflects on exile, on love, and fractured memory in an alien world. इनके और कौन से works हैं? Manhattan Music, ये explore करता है the lives of South Asian immigrants, and then there's Atmospheric Embroidery, her final poetry collection evokes themes of violent displacement survival, and she also wrote The Shock of Arrival, Reflections on Post-Colonial Experience. So guys, Meena Alexander is a very important author. Make sure that yes, everyone has a good keen reading of this. Then comes Vikram Seth. Vikram Seth, very popular, very famous, everyone knows him. इनकी बहुत ही important works आए हैं guys. So just a second. Yes. So इनका जो birth year क्या है? 1952. Okay, 1952, born in Calcutta, and he was educated at the Doon School, and he studied philosophy, politics, economics at Oxford University, and later completed postgraduate studies in economics at Stanford University. So of course a very literate man, and his academic and international background informs his cosmopolitan literary voice. इनको मिला है साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड. He has received the साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड, Padma Shri 2007 में, Commonwealth Prize, Writers Prize Award, W.H. Smith Literary Award. So yes, so many awards have been won by Vikram Seth. So yes, of course, a very important one. Then इनका जो वर्क आता है, सबसे important work अगर देखे जाए तो A Suitable Boy, which has also been adapted into a series of एक web series भी आया इनके ऊपर. 1993 का work है, A Monumental Novel. ये बहुत ही important, so very very thick work and very monumental work. A novel of over 1300 pages set in post-independence India. It follows Lata Mehra. Lata Mehra character hai, and how she meets many boys, and how she chooses and why she decides to go ahead with a man जिससे एक अरेंज सेटअप होता है, वो कैसे उससे शादी करती है and all that. So that's a very beautiful one. The novel blends romance, politics, caste, religion, and modernity. You too will marry a boy I choose. ये इसकी line है. The Golden Gate, 1986, a novel in verse that is written in sonnet form, set in 1980s California, and it humorously and poignantly explores love, friendship, and urban life. Okay, Golden Gate, novel in verse. ये बहुत famous है इसके नाम से कि novel that is written in verse. So imagine guys, to write a novel in verse is not easy. It has to have a certain meter. So this becomes important. Unequal Music, 1999 का another work, a lyrical novel. This is about a violinist and his lost love, and this is set in the world of Western classical music. इनके other works क्या क्या? Mappings, 1980. This was his debut poetry collection. He also authored Beastly Tales from Here and There and Retelling Fables in Verse, and From Heaven Lake, 1983, a travel memoir based on his journey from China to India. Okay, so this becomes important. Then you have next Geeta Hariharan. A brief overview about Geeta Hariharan. Personal details: Geeta Hariharan was born in the year 1954 in Coimbatore. Okay, so she was raised in Bombay and Manila, and she studied literature in the United States and later worked in publishing and television India. Okay, इनके जो वर्क है किस किस पे बेस्ड है? जेंडर, हिस्ट्री, आइडेंटिटी, रेजिस्टेंस, often drawing from mythology and oral traditions. इनके अवार्ड, she won the Commonwealth Writers Award, Best First Book Eurasia, and for her debut novel, The Thousand Faces of Night. She has also been recognized for activism in freedom of expression and secularism through her writing and legal work. Okay, so this Geeta Hariharan. Then you have next, इनके मेजर वर्क था द 1000 फेसेस ऑफ नाइट, 1992 का वर्क है ये. It's a feminist reinterpretation of Indian mythology woven into a story of a Devi, a young woman navigating patriarchy in modern India. So guys, this becomes important. Why? Because anything that is related to mythology, उस पे काफ़ी questions पूछे जाते हैं. So yes, so this one becomes important. Then in times of siege, it is set in contemporary Delhi, and this follows a history of history professor under political pressure, and again themes of intellectual freedom, right-wing nationalism, academic dissent. I Have Become the Tide, another work, a very powerful novel about caste oppression, literary voice and social resistance. Other works, When Dreams Travel, is a feminist retelling of the Arabian Nights from the perspective of Scheherazade. So Geeta Hariharan एक बहुत important Indian English female author हैं. Please do not miss it. Very important, must be read. Shashi Tharoor, very important, very famous, सब इनको जानते हैं. Born in 1956 in London, and he studied in St. Stephen College and earned a PhD. He worked for nearly 30 years at the United Nations, and he currently serves as a member of Parliament in India. And Commonwealth Writers Prize for the great Indian novel, and he also won the Raman Magsaysay Award for his work in international diplomacy. So yes, इनका तो बहुत इनकी famous work है guys. The Great Indian Novel is again mythology पे, महाभारत पे पूरा का पूरा work based है, and parallel क्या किया गया है? Indian political system. Okay, so पूरा इंडिया की politics दिखाई गई around post independence, and Great Indian Novel को उसमें लिखा गया है. Features characters like Gandhi, Nehru and so on. Okay, show business एक और इनका work है, a satire on Bollywood and celebrity culture, loosely structured like Shakespeare's King Lear. Okay, so ये again इनका work है, Write a Love Story, and this investigates the communal tensions in India through the mysterious death of an American woman. So this is Shashi Tharoor's many important works. Major non-fiction work कौन से इनके? India from Midnight to the Millennium, ये इनका एक important work है. कई बार एग्जाम से भी पूछ सकते हैं इनके वर्क, जैसे कि An Era of Darkness, ये powerful critique है British history पे. So, he talks a lot about that, how British capitalize on India's resources and everything. So, India from Midnight to the Millennium, Pax Indica, An Era of Darkness, and Why I Am a Hindu. All these are non-fictional works of Shashi Tharoor. Okay, hi Rishu, a very good afternoon. Then you have Amitav Ghosh. Amitav Ghosh, we all know that how important he is. इनसे अक्सर questions पूछे जाते हैं. Please do not miss him. Born in 1956 in Calcutta, and again educated in this Doon College and Doon School में St. Stephen College में पढ़े हैं ये, and he has also taught in prestigious universities like Harvard and University of Delhi. साहित्य अकेडमी अवार्ड इनको मिल चुका है शैडो लाइन्स के लिए. ज्ञानपीठ अवार्ड मिला है, इंडिया का हाईएस्ट लिटरेरी ऑनर होता है ये, इन अमिताभ घोष को मिला है. पद्मश्री फॉर हिज कॉन्ट्रीब्यूशन टू लिटरेचर and shortlisted for the Booker Prize for Sea of Poppies, and he has been multiple international recognitions इनको कई मिले. So Amitabh Ghosh is a very established figure on the global platform. Then you have इनका Shadow Lines, सबसे important work है जो अभी तक एग्जाम में बहुत पूछते हैं. The Shadow Lines explores nationalism, memory, borders through an unnamed narrator, tracing family histories across India, England and Bangladesh, and he won the Sahitya Academy Award. The Calcutta Chromosome, 1996 का work है, a science fiction novel that blends medical history, mystery and colonial science, and he also won the Arthur C. Clarke Award. The Glass Palace 2000 का work है, a sweeping historical saga set in Burma, India and Malaya, exploring empire, displacement and identity. The Shadow Lines, Calcutta Chromosome and The Glass Palace. Okay, so these are all works of Amitav Ghosh. Then comes The Hungry Tide. इनका एक और Hungry Tide work है, and that is set in Sundarbans. ये सुंदरबंस में सेट है. इससे क्वेश्चन पूछ सकते हैं कि सुंदरबंस आ भी चुका है गाइस कि सुंदरबंस में कौन सा नॉवल अमिताभ घोष का सेट है, एंड दैट इज द हंग्री टाइड. और एग्जामिन करता है क्लैश बिटवीन एनवायरमेंटलिज्म, लोकल कम्युनिटीज एंड पर्सनल हिस्ट्रीज. सी ऑफ पॉपीज, रिवर ऑफ स्मोक, फ्लड ऑफ फायर, ये क्या है? इनकी आइबिस ट्रायलॉजी है. ओके, सो दिस is an IBIS trilogy, and इसको याद करने because it's 100% questions can come. A rich historical fiction series focused on the opium wars, indentured labor, colonial trade, and so on. इनके recent non-fiction work क्या क्या है? The Great Derangement, The Gun Island, Nutmeg Curse. Nutmeg Curse 2021 का very very recent work. So these are all the works of Amitav Ghosh. Then comes Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni, my favorite author, guys. She's written wonderful work on Mahabharat, on Ramayan, retelling है Mahabharat की भी from the perspective of Draupadi, and Forest of Enchantment is Ramayan ka again retelling from the perspective of Sita. So she's a brilliant, brilliant writer, and again mythology पे based है, so you must know about it. 956 में she was born, and just a second. And moved to United States and holds a PhD in literature. Currently teaches creative writing at the university. Awards कौन से मिले? American Book Award for Arranged Marriages, Pushcart Prize, Pen Syndicate Fiction Award, and several awards she has received. Okay, she's a very renowned literary figure. इनके ऊपर इनका Mr. Spices पे movie भी बनी है. Aishwarya Rai was the one to feature in the movie. The Mystery of Spices 1997 का इनका जो book है, this is a realist novel about Tilo, a mystical spice mistress helping immigrants in California. Sister of My Heart 1999 ka story of two cousins growing up in Calcutta. Okay, and then you have A Palace of Illusions, okay, a retelling of the Mahabharata from the perspective of Draupadi. And then you have The Forest of Enchantment, another work that is told from the perspective of Sita. Okay, so this all becomes very important, guys. Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग ऑथर, इनको पढ़ना पर चाहो तो पढ़ लो, बहुत मजा आएगा पढ़ने में. अदर नोटेबल वर्क्स, अरेंज मैरिजेस 995, award winning short story collection Oleander Girl, a young woman journey that of self discovery between India and US, Before We Visit the Goddess, and The Last Queen. Okay, ये इनका बहुत recent work है. Last Queen very popular again. So this is Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. Then you have Namita Gokhale. Namita Gokhale, born in 1956 in Lucknow in India and raised in Nainital. She studied Delhi University. She was the co-founder of the Jaipur Literary Festival. So Jaipur Literature Festival, I'm sure everyone knows about it. She's a co-founder. Namita Gokhale. Award, Sahitya Academy Award, a Centennial National Award, honored for her contribution to Indian literature. Okay, so this becomes important. Then you have इनके major novels कौन से हैं? Paro, Dreams of Passion. Okay, तो इनका work आया है Paro, Dreams of Passion 1984 में. A bold satirical debut work. A bold satirical debut novel exploring urban sexuality and hypocrisy in elite Indian society, and then known for wit and pandering female voice. A Himalayan love story, a semi-autobiographical novel set in the hills of Kumaon, blending romance, memory, and nature. Things to Leave Behind 2016 historical novel set in the 19th century colonial India and noted for its blend of real and fictional characters and awarded the Sahitya Academy Award. This is Namita Gokhale. Other notable works कौन से इनके? Shakuntala, The Play of Memory, Priya in An Incredible India, Mountain Echoes, and In Search of Sita. So many works are there. Then you have next one, and that is Mukul Kesavan. Mukul Kesavan again very important. कई बार इनके यूनिवर्सिटीज इनको लेता है, इनकी बुक्स लेता है, फिर सिलेबस में इंक्लूडेड है. स्पेशली लुकिंग थ्रू ग्लास, बहुत प्रोमिनेंट वर्क है इनका. तो born 1962 in New Delhi. Again, he was taught in St. Stephen College, and he teaches history at Jamia Millia Islamia. अभी भी पढ़ाते हैं. If you guys ever go to this university, definitely इनसे ज़रूर मिलिएगा. And known as historian, essayist, and novelist, and political commentator. Awards, though not primarily awarded as a novelist, he is highly regarded for his critical work and recognized as one of the most articulate liberal voices in contemporary Indian English fiction. Then you have इनका major fiction Looking Through Glass, ये बहुत important, बहुत award winning work है. A historical fantasy novel where a young photojournalist accidentally travels back in the time to pre-partition India. So pre-partition India पे travel back करते हैं, travel time work है ये. Then this work combines magical realism with political history, dealing with themes of communalism, and the novel uses memory, irony, and wit to explore India's pluralist heritage and post-colonial anxieties. Then you have notable non-fiction work, The Ugliness of the Indian Male and Other Proposition, 2008 का work है ये, and this is a collection of essays on Indian politics, cricket, cinema, masculinity, and secularism, known for humor, cultural critique, and unapologetically liberal tone. Homeless on Google Earth, a sharp political commentary on Indian democracy, nationalism, minority rights, and contemporary media culture. And this critiques majoritarianism and defends constitutional secularism with clarity and wit. Okay, so this were all the authors of the 1950s who were born. Most important कल हम 1960s and 1970s के फिर करेंगे. So guys, this series is very important जहाँ पे आपको इसके बारे में हम लोग बात कर रहे हैं. Make sure that every one of you is following this. Majority of the writers जो questions होते हैं, मैं कम से कम 30% questions are from Indian English writing. Indian writing in English को बहुत focus किया जाता है UGC NET में. Why? Because it is our literature. So of course focus किया जाएगा. So make sure that all of you are reading this one. And for a more in-depth analysis, जहाँ पे हम लोग unit wise जा रहे हैं, guys, you can go ahead with my paid batch, my paid course, which is 4359 पे भी अब discount आ रहा है, guys. AR live मेरा code use करेंगे. The cost is only for rupees 3000 something. So if you want to go ahead, the description पूरा link का आपको description box में मिल जाएगा. Link is there. Go ahead. अड्डा के site पे जाके UGC NET IQ के अंदर मेरा course है, वहाँ से आप purchase कर सकते हैं. And there is there. Okay, so guys, with this I'm coming to an end. Please do like the lecture, subscribe to the channel अगर अभी तक नहीं subscribe किया है, and share this with your friends. A very informative lesson, and tomorrow again I will be going ahead with this. So मैंने YouTube के अभी PPTs I think last week ही नहीं दिए, मैं सब forward कर दूंगी. But please you have to follow me on the channel Dr. Anamta Rizvi English Literature. ये Telegram channel है जहाँ पे YouTube की सारी मैं PPTs आपको देती हूँ. I will just write the name of the channel also. Just a second. And the name of the channel is Dr. Anamta Rizvi English Literature. That is the name of my Telegram channel. You guys can go ahead and join the channel. You will get all the PPTs of this week and last week also. Yes, I will, Anshu, definitely I will give you all the PPTs. So please make sure that you are doing this. Thank you everyone. Have a very good day, and I will see you all in the classes. Take care. Bye-bye.